But first, is the United Nations protected against terrorism? We'll have a special follow-up on UN security. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. There's tougher security at the UN this morning, thanks to a security expose aired here on Weekend Today in New York. The UN admits it's trying to plug the gaps in its security, which our hidden cameras showed made the landmark vulnerable to terrorist attack. CNBC's Mike Salord is here now with an update on his startling story. Good morning, Mike, and congratulations. Doesn't it feel good to get some reaction to your story?
It certainly does. Rarely do we get a reaction, and this is a big one.
They saw it, huh?
They definitely saw it. Well, after our story aired last month, we received many calls from people who work at the United Nations. We even received a call from the Secret Service wanting to see our tape to learn how to better protect President Clinton when he visits. But we didn't hear from the UN until now. Authorities confirm they've studied our report and are making the building safer.
For the first time in 41 years, the United Nations is now closed to the public. Last week, the UN conducted its last guided tour of the building with no plans to resume them anytime in the near future. Authorities had invited us to attend the last tour, but then suddenly changed their minds. We decided to go along anyway, shooting undercover with a camcorder.
It's a sad day for the people who run the tours here. They're fighting to get the tours to come back sometime soon. But it's no wonder why the tours have been suspended after what we found out last month.
During our investigation of security at the UN, we discovered that it would have been easy for a terrorist to slip away from a guided tour and gain access to sensitive areas of the building. When we intentionally lost our tour group, we were able to enter private rooms at the Security Council and areas where delegates were meeting. And I was even able to stand at a podium at the General Assembly. For over an hour, no one stopped us or asked for ID, and at no point did anyone check our camcorder to make sure it wasn't a bomb. And we found other holds in security. I was able to hop over the fence that surrounds the complex, with a security guard just 30 feet away. No one noticed as I walked on private UN grounds. Our experience convinced a security expert who viewed our tapes that protection at the UN was
very lax, in fact, almost non-existent.
But now, with the indefinite suspension of tours, the UN has taken drastic measures to beef up security. And during our visit on the last day of tours, we noticed other changes. Inside the building, guards were now stopping people without proper ID from roaming from one part of the complex to the other. And outside, new electronic security equipment was being installed, and more guards were watching the gates and the fence where I had climbed in. So it looks like the United Nations is now trying to plug the holes in security that we identified. And with the Palestinian peace accord provoking new terrorist threats and the World Trade Center trial set to go, security experts say it's not a second too soon.
Authorities say the tours will start again once they figure out how to make them safer. But a decision isn't expected until late this year or early next year.
Let me ask you, Mike, do you think it's an overreaction that they've closed off all the tours?
Well, we asked that of several security experts we consulted with on the initial report, and they said that yes, it is an overreaction. You can make those tours safer, keep the building open to the public by just greeting people better at the door and also watching the tours much more closely when they're inside the building.
And you wouldn't go climb a fence now?
No, unless I wanted to spend a few nights in prison, yeah.
How much of a risk were you taking originally doing this?
Not very much of a risk. Of course, I could have been arrested and put in the international cell in the basement of the UN, but I thought security was just so lax that it was worth the demonstration.
You should go back in a few months and see what it looks like.
Yeah, I won't be jumping the fence, though.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike.
Good job, Mike.
President Clinton is going to be at the UN 11 a.m. Monday, so security will be tight then for sure. Well, you can see more Steals and Deals on CNBC Monday through Friday at 8 p.m.